That's what she.
This ain't your grandpa's ham radio, no sir. Grab your rig, hit the trail, mindset on fire. Parks on the air, we're activating the wire. Summits on the air, climb high, scream CQ, portable power. No shack, just me and you. Experiment wild, break the old rules. Contesting pile-ups, we're owning the fools. No age limit here, it's a state of mind. Kids table rebels, leave the boring behind. Heavy signals, crashing down. CQ, own the town. Poda, soda, contest roar. Ham radio, kids table forevermore. Beat, boot, bang, waves in the fight. This is our revolution, turn it up tonight. Kids table, not your grandpa's ham radio, your future on the air. QRT out.
Yeah, QRT out, yo.
Jeff, your arm disappeared. Good afternoon, evening, everybody, and welcome to the Ham Radio Kids Table. It is another Wednesday night, and we are here tonight to do what we do best, and that's, I don't know, complain about something, talk about something. But I do got to start tonight off. I got to say this, right? So I'm not picking on any other live streams, but there's a certain one well, we won't say their name, but there's a certain one that, you know, it's almost 30, 45 minutes by the time our guests get on. And we don't have that. But also I've noticed tonight, and Cooley, it seems, I don't know what it is. YouTube has got a thing against Cooley here lately. It seems like that nobody knows Cooley is in the stream unless they filter a certain way. His gets hidden. But I see he's in our stream tonight. No special filtering.
I always see Cooley.
I don't know. It just
I always see Cooley. What's funny, Brian, you said what's up in chat, and I was about to be like, Brian, come on in chat. Come on in and have fun.
Yeah, I'm the guy that just screams in there at the very last second.
Yeah. Hey Brian, how you doing?
Good.
So
how are you
everyone
guys?
Say hi to Cooley in chat.
That's right.
Hi, Cooley.
Hi, Cooley.
Hey, Cooley. Well, I actually said hi to him already. So.
Yep. So, good, the bad, the ugly. Field day happened last week, and wow, everybody have a good field day.
Field day? What's this field day?
Oh, damn! Was field day this weekend? Damn, man, I forgot.
Every day is field day.
Well, that is one way of looking at it.
Well, if you do parks on the air, summits on the air, then every day is basically field day, as they say.
So I'm going to give everybody a very hot take in my ASMR voice. POTA has replaced field day for emergency preparedness.
Well, if we could go down, if you go down that route right now, I agree with you. Should I go down that route, Tim?
Hey, go right ahead.
I will just get it all off my chest right now.
This is therapy, I guess.
Yeah.
And Brian's
a great thing. I think everyone
has some advanced medical credentials, and he will start racking up the billing clock. So,
yeah. Those credentials are soon running out, though. I got about 2 years, and about a year left, and I probably won't. I won't be credentialed anymore. I'll just be a regular old retired guy.
Mark is saying, check my audio source. Why check my audio source? Let's see. It sounds like I'm okay.
Yeah. James said it too.
But your headset, maybe.
Oh, hold on a second. I see it. Hold on.
There we go. How's that sounding?
That sounds better.
You sound like
there we go. Okay.
All right. So stupid Streamlabs had the wrong mic again. And you guys didn't say anything beforehand, so you all suck.
Usually it's Tim that has the problem, not you.
Sometimes, yeah, it's like sometimes it's me, but I usually catch it beforehand because someone usually says something before you start.
Where's Vince when you need him?
Yeah. No, Vince is celebrating Canada Day, drinking beer and eating back bacon. So
yeah.
If you get the reference.
By the way, happy Canada. Happy Canada Day to any Canadians in chat. I haven't
Take
seen
off,
our
hosers.
usuals yet, so
Take off, you hosers. Good day, eh? Does anyone know where I could go to Young Street? How to get to Young Street, eh?
Yeah.
Anyway, if you get that reference, you're cool. But as I was saying, field day is a great thing to go experience if you've never been to one before. Hopefully you have a local club near you that will be very, very welcoming. They're very friendly. They will let you get on the air. They're not stringent about stuff. They say, hey, they'll have a go-to station. Clubs that I belong to never had a go-to station. I was surprised. It took me a few years before I actually got on the air with a club. Everyone wants to be there at the start of it, and but no one wants to be there at the end to break everything down. I heard that on the radio Monday, that everyone left and there was like a few people to break stuff down. And when it comes to being an emergency, how likely is it going to be that you're in an emergency, you and your friends or your club are in an emergency, and you have to put up an antenna farm with huge antennas within a few minutes? Very unlikely. Very, very unlikely. Even if it was a hurricane or something, you would be putting up smaller antennas like POTA style or SOTA style antennas just to get on the air.
Mm-hmm.
And I think field day,
exactly,
as an exercise in emergency preparedness, I think it's lost that meaning, and it's just become a social event for people to go out and see people from their club or from their area that they never see before, only maybe in meetings once a month or every 6 months or whatever it is when they have meetings.
Mm-hmm.
Or for field day, that's the only time they see them. And I understand the social aspect of it. That's a great thing, but that's all it really is right now. And I still say it's a contest because they don't allow people being on or operating on the work bands. So it's a contest. It's lost its meaning for its original purpose because of advent of POTA and SOTA and some other on the air activities where you're more portable than sticking up an antenna farm. That's my take on it. I think everyone should go to a field day, maybe go to different field days to get a better grasp, or maybe different versions of field day that people do, and just see what it's all about.
I'll be the devil's advocate.
I still wanted to go to 2 other field day sites in neighboring Maryland stand to go check out 2 different clubs that I really wanted to go check out their setup, and I completely forgot to do that because I was just overwhelmed with stuff this weekend as usual.
So what do you got, Brian?
Yeah, I'll be the devil's advocate, Jeff, just a little bit on that. You got major when you have a major incident like a big hurricane, and when they roused up FEMA to get all the resources out there, so it takes time to get them out there to get the big operations going. So I can understand the need for the call for amateur radio teams to come out and set up more permanent situations for extended operating times. And yeah, so I understand the thought process you're going down with having POTA, having the portable antennas and being on the air quickly. But a lot of these incidents, it takes time to gather resources. Yeah, and when you get the resources there, you're going to have a major resources, which is going to be, something like a field day setup where you have a portable radio tower, stuff like that. So yeah, it's going to be extended. You get these situations like Venezuela right now. Oh my gosh, it's horrible. Yeah. And in that situation, you're going to want something that looks a lot more permanent. And they're going
to want a bigger antenna to get out farther, and probably larger radios with more power.
Just a central resource that everybody can go to switch out during operational periods. It's bigger. Those things are just bigger than POTA. POTA gets you in the mindset of emergency communication and setting up your stuff and learning how and when and where to talk. But the big setups like field day, they need those for operational periods and extended times that people could be there for 2-3 months before communication gets up.
That is true. But they usually work as a team to do it. Field day is like a free for all. They all come to set everything up. And then when it's time to take everything down, they're nowhere to be found. I remember one of my old clubs, someone always had gathered everything that was left over and it was stored at their house.
So
And then everyone else had to come. Hold on, Frank. And then everyone else had to come get it. And it wasn't until the following year, the following field day, to pick it up. I think field day should be probably modified a bit to, well, maybe the clubs need to do it on their own. It's like, hey, if you're not going to set up stuff and help us take it down and take it home with you when you bring it, then don't bring your stuff. Don't bring your antenna. And there are some weird or really unique antennas that I've seen for field day, at least the ones that I've been to. And some people actually plan this stuff out. Like they take like a month or two before field day and they sketch it all out of how they want to create the antenna with like, I remember one time someone actually had the chicken wire stuff as a ground plane. And this was before the window screening ground plane came out from KB9 VBR. Or maybe just around that same time. And it was interesting, but it was a huge antenna, literally like a flagpole, the size of a flagpole and higher, like 1.5 times higher than a flagpole. But when it comes time to take everything down, no one's there. So there's this extravagant setup, and then it takes twice as long to break everything down because they have less than half the people there.
So something, a couple comments I'm just seeing that came through. One of them, I think it was Eric. Where is it? Biggest issue is the high-powered stations wiping out the temp low-power setups on field day. Should we have a couple different field days? A club-based one where it's all clubs, large power, or whatever, kind of thing. And then maybe a field day for smaller groups, 1 to 2 operators, same rules and setup and everything.
Didn't they lower the power to 100 watts maximum for everyone?
Yeah, but okay, so here's the thing, Jeff. Not everybody is 100% honest about it.
Well, that's true, and they should have their scores removed from the system if they could prove that, or someone can prove that they didn't do that.
But they have to.
No one likes a freaking cheater.
They have to have that proof to begin with, and that's not going to happen. But one thing that I really like here that I want to point out, Tim had it highlighted. B. Willen's comment. That's Canadian Brian. He says, I think Winter Field Day does a better job for the MCOM aspect of it. Absolutely, yep. Brian. Yeah, you get. Okay, so Summer Field Day, it's hot as all get out, and you're sweating, and bad things can happen with that. Winter Field Day, you have all the cold, and you can learn how to work better in the cold because you never know when the thing is going to happen.
Exactly. And that's actually, I find it funny. One year with one of the local clubs down here, we actually had a snowstorm the Friday evening before Winter Field Day. And it was kind of bad, but I understand the roads are dangerous. Not everyone knows how to drive when it snows, when it's wintry conditions. I understand that. And the club canceled field day for Saturday, and they ended up meeting on Sunday for it, which it was still kind of fun, but I think how they had everything set up and wired caused a lot of issues from what I remember. But they still did in the snow. Actually, I heard somewhere it was like today or yesterday that they were going to do a winter field day, but there was a blizzard, so they didn't do winter field day at all. And heaven forbid it's actually raining at your location when summer field day comes around and you need to set everything up.
Yeah.
Are you going to wait for that rain to clear, the storm
No.
system to pass you by before you set everything up? It's a exercise in emergency preparedness. And just say it was a hurricane and you had to set up a radio antenna, were you going to wait for it to pass before you set one up? But you need to get radio activity on the air right away.
So
James had a good point there. And as far as the storms go, Jeff, I 100% agree. Unless it's a massive lightning storm.
Yes.
A lightning
set
storm.
Things up.
Not massive.
Blizzard, raining, doesn't matter. Hurricane, set things up so that you can be that point of contact as things happen.
I think maybe just to get like that one thing, like if it's going to be an emergency preparedness exercise field day, then I think the ARL should create a new, some new points where it says, give us your zip code of where you're at and a weather report. And if you have like a rain, snow, whatever coming through, and depending on the severity of your stuff and what time you have everything set up, there's more details that need to be thought about it. They get like 100 extra points, 500 points or something like that if they set up during when it's raining,
right?
Or on winter field day when it's actually snowing.
So I would say, and
some incentive there to actually have an emergency preparedness live drill.
To a degree, I agree with that. Being uncomfortable, this should be something that you're willing to work through if you really want to do it.
Yeah.
Now, so it was me. I was going to go to the state forest when we had the blizzard come through, and they shut our roads down. So I shifted gears and I continued. I did my winter field day here in the shack.
That's perfectly fine. If the state calls a state of emergency and shuts the roads down, do not go out and drive on the roads. One, I am 100% sure that most people cannot drive in the snow and never have before. So stay the heck home. Absolutely. And if it is that, shift your operation to home. Yeah. Go out in your yard, dig some snow out, make an area, and set up like an antenna on a base.
Yeah.
I can't get anything to the ground, but
I think the other side though is in the winter or in the summer field day, it's raining.
Mm-hmm.
Figure it out. I mean, as long as it's not lightning.
Yeah, as long as it's not dangerous for you to be outside.
It's just water. We did it in Boy Scouts. I mean, we did in Navy. We weren't allowed to carry umbrellas in the Navy.
So Tim, you just made a great point there. Probably intentional or not, I don't know. But Boy Scouts, most of us either know, were in, or somehow contributed to Boy Scouts. And the motto has always been, hopefully always will be prepared. You never know what's going to happen. If you're not out there, practicing as often and as relatively simply out there practicing as much as you can, those skills are going to go to loss when something happened. What do I do now? Well, if you're practicing, you go, let me go take care of that. Let me go take care of that. Let me go make sure that's still set up. And then I get on the air and figure out what's going on.
And not to say that field day is bad. And as I said earlier, that Soda and POTA is every day, because you could do it every day. It's emergency preparedness every day. Then do that. You don't have to actually partake in POTA. You can still go to a park, set up stuff, and just be or portable, operate portable if you want to. I've talked to people like, I'm in a park, but it doesn't have park numbers, just a regular park. It's like, that's cool, dude, that you're out portable. That's awesome. But I mean, do that too to work on your skills on setting up antennas. I mean, if you're really that kind of person that has to practice what they're going to do at field day, then go somewhere where you can set up your huge freaking antenna, dude, and have fun for a few hours.
Dave over here in chat has a really good point. But if you only go out twice a year, are you really prepared?
Nope.
No.
And that's where the scout motto of be prepared comes into play, as far as I'm concerned.
So POTA, and I do it all the time. It's fun, but it is definitely not necessarily a group activity. It can be.
Yep.
But thinking about how field day is set up and caters to groups, it does that a little bit better or than POTA. It doesn't mean that you can't do it. It just gets because most people will they're not doing a POTA activation where they're activating multiple bands at the same time. That doesn't happen very often. Usually it's a group of people that will pass the mic or whatever. So it is more social.
Well, there have been groups like it was the Wilderness Adventure Group or the Adventure Group.
Oh yes, yeah.
Yeah, they'll go out and they'll
Radio
do an
Adventure.
activation at a park, like at a cabin or somewhere, and they'll have multiple people working on different bands. MRD has done a video too about that, and sure some other people have, and they have their little splitter, not the splitters, they're what are those boxes called?
Quadplexers and bandpass isolators.
Bandpass filters. Thank you, Frank. Yeah, and they have those, and they do it. I mean, it's just a POTA activation, but they're there for like a weekend or something, and they're making all the contacts they can make. Same way with field day. But you can do it. It's not like a lot of people do it that way, but it's nice to see that groups do it that way too. Doing POTA that way, that is.
Do.
No, it was coming, Brian. Da. All I want to say to you. Yeah.
Is that the police?
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Da.
Quirky James has a good point here. I think there should be an extra class and points for field day if you deliberately bring broken radios and then fix them and use them on the air. Now that's real emergency preparedness. Absolutely, James. I can see that happening, but we got to get now. This is where the sad ham bit comes in. We got to get the grumpy OM sad hams to do that, and so we need the newer generation of hams that want to tinker with that. Go, hey, let's do this. Exactly like you just said.
So something that Jeff mentioned earlier, and it was my experience too. When I went to my very first field day, everybody was very welcoming, very helpful in, having me help them do stuff. Right. I was a set of helping hands, and that part was good. Now I spent quite a bit of time over at the GOTA station, and that was a great experience. But when it came to trying to sit down and do anything on one of the stations that was that they were using for accumulating points, nope. Not even at 2:00 in the morning. Nope. I mean, it's just like
it's really.
I get it, but and so that I guess in a way could be discouraging to newer folk also.
Yeah,
that would be very discouraging.
I think
maybe
larger clubs that want to do like a lower number of radios, like the one club that I was in always did 2 alpha. 2 radios. One was always dedicated to FT8, and then the other one was most of the time during the day CW. I think clubs like that really should have more radios. I mean, you have more people and you limit yourself to 2 radios, and there's people hogging it on FT8 and CW for the majority of the time. Get off your rear end and change your category or whatever it's called, your group that you're in, your class. Thank you.
Yeah.
And have more radios. Like they never had a GOTA station. I was like surprised. They never had one every time. I went to 3 of their field days and never saw a GOTA station.
That's too bad.
And they never advertised to the area like, hey, do their advertising thing like POTA people do. Hey, we're doing POTA. Like, hey, we're doing amateur radio. They might have had like a sign outside the campground or wherever they're at. I didn't go this year. Well, I'm not a member of the club, but they were at actually a new place. I was kind of surprised where they're at, which was kind of cool. I wonder how it went for them. But expand the number of radios. Always have a go to station. You always got to advertise, and you have to do it in a timely fashion. You cannot do it the week of. You got to prepare to do this like a month beforehand, and then follow it up until field day.
And have a plan for those newcomers and those public, the general public.
You're going to greet people. You go to the go to station. You're going to sit there and help everyone that comes to that station. We're going to push people to you, help them out.
The two places I visited with on field day, they both had go to stations, which was great. Yep. One I spent a particular amount of time with, and they were just letting people come up and they're like, hey, you want to get on the air? And they'd take them over to the go to station. They get them on the busiest band, and they would let them make contacts. I mean, whether you were interested in doing ham radio, or you just a public, general public type of person that came in, and I thought that was fantastic.
And, you get them on the air. It's like, hey, here's you should always have a script. You always print it out and you have it laminated. It's like, this is the call sign. You have it spelled out. November 3 Alpha Bravo Charlie. You give them a signal report of whatever you want to, and have it all out so they only have to read it, and they only have to put in like one thing, like my name's Bob, Cynthia, whatever.
So Gary asked a good question, and it got answered in chat, but I want to deep dive this one a little bit here. He wants to know what a go-to station is. Gary, as Greg and Jason just said, go-to is get on the air. It is for those people. Say you're out at the city park or whatever, and you have people walking by, and they come up and they go, "Oh, hey, what are you doing?" Well, instead of giving them the super nerdy answer, the go-to station gives them the 30,000 foot view. They get this nice, easy to understand thing about what's going on, and you can sit there and go, "Hey, here's a microphone. How about we have?"
Is that a Motorola?
No, it's actually ICOM.
Okay, I couldn't see it. Yeah, it basically a go-to station is to get people on the air. Either new amateur radio operators, maybe people that are new amateur radio operators are new to the area or newly licensed, or just as third-party traffic. I was going to say third party traffic. To say, hey, get on here. This is what we do. Read the script to someone and hold down the microphone
unless they
talk into it, and you're going to be on the air.
Unless they change the rules. It's only supposed to be for people who've never been on the air.
Yeah.
So Gary, exactly. If you have mic fright, like you want to key up the microphone, you want to talk to people, you have your license, and you can't get your finger and mouth to work together to hit that PTT button and talk. A go-to station is a fantastic thing on field day to get you on the air, because a good club, as we've discussed here, has a script, and they have a way to get you over that mic fright without pressuring you. It's a no commitment, no pressure thing, but they make, at least my club, I don't know about everyone else, the two clubs I'm a member of, they make it fun for the go-to station. And Dave's right.
So,
newer amateur radio operators, we have them go into the trailer to go to stations for general public to see what ham radio is about.
Yeah, and they're not really part of the contest. It's like it should be a relaxed atmosphere away from the heavy contesters and people that are really into it. And just say, hey, just get on the air. We'll make like one contact. You can make a contact with someone in another part of the country or maybe the world, and you just calmly get them on there. It's nice and relaxed. It's not like the heavy hitter area.
But on the flip side of that, Jeff, I have seen some get on the air stations that, well, they're not using the club call or whatever call the field day side is using. They have to use a different call. So say my club is W6VVR. we use W6VVR, but then my personal call, KG6NLW, is the go-to call. Well, that go-to call I have seen, especially with my club, has outranked some of the heavy hitters that are
Cheated.
working, no more than
Cheated.
50 yards away.
They cheated. They cheated. They cheated. They cheated.
No,
They
because
cheated.
the kids that came by got interested, and they all took turns. They literally figured out
Well, that's
past the
good.
mic,
Well, yeah.
and
I
they
mean,
had the kids on the go-to station making all these contacts, and the guys 50 yards away are like, what?
Well,
What?
well,
So-
maybe they need to get a little friggin' energy juice in them and
Right.
get their freaking butts moving. Then show these kids go out, show these freaking old ham radio people how to do things.
That's how you do it.
But
Juice,
so
energy drinks,
Gary,
whatever floats their boat.
Gary, I hope that answers you as to what GOTA is really supposed to be and what
Kids are
it
probably
what
all
it is
hopped
and
up
what
on
it,
sugar.
Yeah.
That's right. Sweet
one
tart.
club I visited, they were doing testing. They got a couple generals, like 3 people got their general tickets. So
Cool.
that was cool.
Yeah. I think there's points for if you have an exam session. You could just have one person take an exam and still, as long as you have like the 3 VEs to proctor the exam, and you have only one candidate to take it, it counts as for the points.
I've heard that if you're on YouTube and on field day, you get points. I didn't know that.
Okay.
Really?
So there's a qualification.
Broadcasting or something. Or not broadcast, live stream.
No. There's a qualification. There's the social media points. So prior to field day, Josh Hamshack TV, myself, and a few others, you put your club, your club and location in the chat, and we shout you out, and that's considered the social media point for you. Or whatever,
yeah, usually I think
whatever.
I think some clubs will, if they have a Facebook page. Most clubs will have probably a Facebook page rather than a Twitter and an Instagram account. Some might have both. It depends, but mostly they'll post something on a face group page or their page or a generic radio group page, either for the usually for the area.
So I want to stop real quick because this is very. Next year, I'm going to set up a laptop or a TV where we have on field day and have FT8 or Grid Tracker on their TV, maybe an option too. That is phenomenal. That will catch people's attention. That is eye candy, no matter how you look at it. And I want to. I think I can share this from the video screen behind me here. So
something moved.
Yeah. So this is Open Ham Clock, and it just runs in a web browser. So as long as you have internet access, and that's got a little bit of everything in there, solar, it's got POTA contacts, all kinds of things, and that is once again eye candy. That yes, you can throw it up there, catch people's attention. They can see the bigger picture more than what's just going on at your local event. They could see a much bigger aspect of what we do. So great suggestion.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. And if you haven't downloaded Open Ham Clock yet, I just dropped the link for it in chat. So go download it today, play with it, and get it ready for Field Day 2027.
And you don't have to download it. It's just runs in a web browser that you can download it. You can run it locally, but for a temporary setup out in the field, just run it in your web browser and let it run.
Yeah. It does tax their servers, so that's why actually I run it locally. But yeah.
Yes, and Dave, I know you don't have to download it, but Dave, I'm old school. My mind went straight to, download. Oh, wait, you can, but no.
Yeah.
And Eric, that is a fun point. A few weeks ago, I was camping doing POTA, heard SSTV, and showed some kids how the app on my phone decoded it. They were amazed. That is great.
Yeah. Besides big antennas, they're going to pull out big TVs to display it on, like freaking 100-inch TVs.
Right.
Heck yeah.
I think it'd be cool.
That's
One
right.
club I visited actually had that this weekend, and it wasn't a big screen TV, but they had a ham clock just like you described, Tim. It was pretty cool.
And it's a cool thing. Like Tim said, it's eye candy. It's something to, if you're in a more of a public area or you have people from the public coming to you, it's eye candy and it's eye catching, and they'll grab. It's like, ooh, what's that? I see a map with lines going all across it. What does that mean? They're going to come and maybe have someone next to it to explain it to people when they're coming by. Be friendly and everything. Hi, look at this, and explain it to them. I think that would be a very cool thing to do.
Especially, if you're at a city park or, somewhere super noticeable like that, and the kids come up and they do this looking at the monitor that you have set up. They do that constantly.
Yeah, I think if you have something like this, or like I think World Radio League, I think they actually show like live contacts. I think
on their splash screen. Yeah, they show.
I mean, having like if you say like, here's our station over there, and just watch them. Oh, look at that! They just made a contact to Europe. Oh, look at that! They just made contact up to Canada. Oh, look at that! They just did it across the country, and that will get them probably even more interested. They're seeing the contacts actually happen and where on the map they're coming from. Or even if you just have a map that shows the data.
You're not right.
If it's not live, I think it's a cool thing.
But now, Jeff, you have to back that up.
Misconstrued. A mirror with lines on it.
Either of you.
Yeah.
So, Jeff, you have to back that up. Not only go, well, this is where that person just made a contact, and they did it from just over there. Great. Now, walk that kid over there.
Yeah.
Introduce them to the radio operator and be like, hey, where'd you just make a contact? And when that operator goes, oh, yeah, that was friends I just talked to, it reinforces in the mind of that kid that what they saw on the map is what actually really just happened.
That's what draws them in. You draw the kids in, the younger crowd into the hobby, and you show them that like open ham clock is a very it's more modern looking than the old ham clock. I'll give it that. It's like a lot of the same information, maybe some more, but it draws them in. It's not like tubes and wires and vacuum tubes and the whatnot. It's technology. Hey, look, here's a computer and it's pulling live information off the internet of where they're making contacts, or this is where all the contacts are happening today if they don't have like live data or whatever.
He's from Kansas City.
Yeah. You get them free foods, like get some.
I know that one.
We got a big pig on the grill. We're going to munch on it later.
Yeah, you throw some Oklahoma or some Joe's Kansas City down, advertise that. By gosh, they'll be in droves.
There you go.
Right.
What I think also would help is that if you have a club that has some younger folks in it, meeting the interested ham radio operators, like if a millennial came in, millennial aged guy, get the millennial club member to talk to them. So that millennial doesn't feel like he's talking to an archaic.
Oh yeah. You definitely don't want to get freaking grandpa over there talking to the young kids.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The age gap is not, well, it might be helpful.
They could be influential, but you don't want to scare them with
dirty old grandpa or anything.
Yeah.
Grumpy old grandpa. But no, if you have someone that's younger, like say in their 20s, a millennial or whatever, or even a younger kid that's into it, that's an amateur part of the club or something, someone their own age or younger or closer to their age than their oldest member, that might be a good thing too. Although you could have someone there that's been an amateur radio operator for a long time and just say, hey, yeah, I've been doing it all my life. I fell in love with it when I was your age, and I've been doing it ever since.
Jack Stack does barbecue.
I don't know.
So I want to talk about this age bit for a second here, because this one really hits with me as far as this goes. There are tons of clubs, and I'm not dissing, I'm not ragging, I'm just speaking facts. There are tons of clubs here where the average age of the club is no younger than 82. Do we want
Damn,
okay,
they
first
got
off,
people in the
do
freaking
we
nursing
want
home doing
that
it?
to be the first face the youngsters interact
No, not
with?
the first phase.
No,
not the
not at
first
all.
phase.
So one thing I part of this channel, right? Our tagline is this isn't your grandpa's ham radio anymore. Age is irrelevant. It's about a state of mind, right? It's how you are. So whether they're, there are some really cool hip 80-year-old people that can get out and have fun. And then there's some 20-year-old kids that act like they're 80.
And we met a few at Hamvention.
Yeah. So
they're old and they love ham radio. They love talking to people about it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
You just got to know your club members and keep the grumpy ones over there at the CW station or something.
Definitely is an assigned kind of task thing. It's not like you do this.
I do want to say something, and which kind of got me down the line for this topic. I went to download or look for the rules, and my phone asked me to download it, and it was a 41-page PDF. I'm like, what the fudge? 41 pages. Now, I went back and looked a little bit further.
What kind of fudge?
It was it was from Uranus. Your factory in Missouri, by the way, guys. Nothing more. But 41 pages, right? And now that was part of the bigger packet. It had a whole bunch of stuff. It was all single spaced. Holy cow. It looked like it came right out of the military. My concern is in today's TDLR, too long didn't read thing. Are we doing a disservice? And I'm going to say the ARRL because that's their product, right? In trying to attract younger people, we have to take it to them. Steve Goodgame proved that. You take it to the kids and give them something and let them run with it. In the Teachers Institute, and it was phenomenal. But as long as you've got people, well, here's the rules. Here's all 41 pages, or whatever it is. You're gonna turn them away. And I would like to see the ARRL start doing a little bit more targeted outreach, and not just do outreach because that's what they think they should be doing, or it's because one or two kids might have said something and that's how they're focusing it. They need to look at what's going across the younger space, and not just teenage kids, but young adults, and find out what drives them, what interests them, and take that message to them.
So, Tim, I will start this off by finishing my. By the way, 73, Gary, have a good one. I will finish my comment about the age. Yes, it is the mental mindset of the ones that are actually 82, and they have the mental mindset of 82 instead of the mental mindset of not your grandpa's ham radio age, that are going to cause problems. And so I wasn't trying to be ageist or anything like that.
No. But there's a big negative a rap, about the cranky old sad ham and stuff like that. It's always the old sad ham. At 55 years old, I'm young in this hobby. Now, Dave just said
at 38, I'm young in this hobby.
Dave just said that at 58, he's the oldest officer in this club, and that's good. But I don't know what the average age of the club is. But every club that I have been to, I've gotten not turned away, but turned off because of the assholeness of the majority of the people, because it's you do it our way. This is the only way, kind of thing. And I have a hard time taking direction like that from people that have a hard time explaining to me the relationship of Ohm's law.
And you were in the Navy, good Lord. Anyway, to bring this back around to the ARRL and how do we get it down to TLDR, we have to get that 82-year-old mindset at the ARRL out of there and bring in the newer mental mindset and have it get into the hierarchy there in order for the change to happen, unfortunately. And Hollywood's 100% right there. Kids learn from other kids before they learn from the adults. The ARRL needs more than a few teens, Hollywood, that can be leaders to the youngins. Grandpa Zicky, especially for a female that's interested in the hobby, absolutely, Hollywood. That is people, hams. I can't just say people, hams, bitch and moan because we don't have women in the hobby, or they're not active, or this or that. It's because the men in the hobby sit there and mansplain everything to them. I know a woman ham. I'm not going to say anything more than that. I know a woman ham who has sold off everything, sold off all her radios, gotten rid of ham radio because she had too many of those OMs that are stuck in their grandpa's old ways, and this is the way, and this is how it's always been, this is how it'll always be. FT8 isn't real radio, CW isn't real radio, bring back Spark App, those guys. She had those guys mansplain to her, and because that, it just turned her off to the hobby completely. She still has her license. Just
we had as a going back to like my VE stuff.
No, Eric.
Not this past week, last week, and not this past one, the weekend before field day, we had a woman, a younger woman, late 20s, early 30s, maybe mid 30s, I don't know. Really excited. She said she was a complete and utter like nerd when it comes to like electronics and sci-fi and whatever. And she passed her exam. She really wanted to do this and put it off for years. And she finally got around doing it. She passed her exam. And I said, fine, there are other women in the hobby. Go find them. Because I didn't want to say, oh, come join my club. Oh, you're cute. No. And I tell kids, like, find other kid groups. Go to your school, see if anyone's interested in it also. Find people your own age, your own whatever, and get with like people together. Get you all selves together. I know, well, because I mentioned the women thing because Frank did the all-female live stream. Was it last year?
24. It's been 2 years now.
Wow. Well, that's still in my head. Seeing all the women at Hamvention, radio operators, ham radio operators that were women, and they were, if you're there, you're most likely you're excited if you're a ham radio operator and female, to be there. And what was the other thing? Oh, there's like the YL contest or activity that was done April, I think it was.
YLWWA, yeah.
Yeah, that thing. I mean, and I saw everyone after that with these things on social media showing that they took part of it and they took part in it. I try to still steer people to that direction. Like, go find, there's a lot of women in the hobby. You just got to go find them, unfortunately.
Eric had something good to say. Eric said, we need more hams who are educationers to step up and start school clubs. The amateur radio world's getting a lot more involved in STEM. It needs to happen more, but I'm starting to see that grow. And that's a perfect place for us to introduce new hams through STEM
I think it
programs.
Also depends on the state and regulations with outside clubs. I know one of the clubs I was in tried to get in with some of the schools here in Delaware, and they were kind of shot down. I don't know the details. Most likely,
that most clubs, most outside entities are going to be pushed away by the school for
that's true.
Security reasons.
But they had, yes, for security reasons and other things too. But there was someone that was giving money to ham radio clubs. It might have been the ARRL. I don't remember. the grants to give the clubs to have them do projects like this or do something with the grant money. And I think the club was, and that's why they wanted to try to get schools interested in amateur radio.
So this is what the Teachers Institute.
Yes, this was a little bit before the Institute came around.
Program that Steve was running. Now Steve has left and is going back to the classroom. I hope that legacy that he created will continue, because I think it was a very good one. It will. And to Brian's point, it gets STEM into the classroom. I'm sorry, not STEM, but it gets ham radio as part of the STEM curriculum into the classroom. Now, I always look at this. To me, I enjoy ham radio as a hobby. I don't think that, everybody needs to learn it, but it is a great way to teach science.
Yes.
Because it allows you to put your hands on things and do practical application of things that you don't normally get to see or do. And it's really good from that perspective.
Yes.
And it teaches a lot in basic troubleshooting and other skills like that can help you a lot in other areas, not just in electronics. So there's a lot of advantages for it. We just need to keep it in there. And, one of the things they always say, one of the biggest disservices that we've done to the school age kids was pull out the industrial arts, those kind of classes. And this really STEM is just a modern version of that. And we need to get it back in the school.
Yeah.
So Dave Hillbilly Ham has a great point here, and it came out on last Thursday's live stream, Dave.
It did, yeah.
Ham Radio Prep has started a program to get ham radio prep into schools for free. So that is a huge stepping stone right there. And even with Steve Goodgame backing down from the Teachers Institute, I really do hope that whoever it is at the ARRL keeps that going and helps implement things like ham radio prep into the schools. We need that.
And I'm going to say this, and no shade. We've had James on here several times. I like those guys, but that is a tool to teach you how to pass the test.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't teach you. It doesn't. It doesn't build the skills. The give you the
practical skills.
Practicals, right? So and that's the difference. So yes, I appreciate that program. I appreciate that they're doing that and making that available to school age kids. So they can do it, but it was all the other stuff that goes with it in the school. And let's face it, there's not a whole lot of ham radio operators that are school teachers. There are some, and that's where that program of getting the teachers, the STEM teachers, to teaching them the amateur radio, that they could then take that back and augment their classes. What do you got,
Train the trainer.
I'm just brainstorming here, and maybe there's a program, Marty, I don't know about, but it would be cool to offer a grant program to schools to get their STEM instructors certified as ham radio operators, and even give them their first piece of HF and VHF, UHF equipment, and have that as a federal program to help, or maybe an ARRL sponsored program to help get schools started.
That's what the Teachers Institute.
That's what Teachers Institute was, Brian.
Okay.
Or is. That's what TI is. The fundraising that was done through Mike and Josh and Jason and Kyle and all the, everyone, if that funding goes to TI, and then TI has the teachers in the STEM programs reach out and go, hey, we want to do this. So they fly them out to the ARRL headquarters. They go through a week or two of classes, and then they go home with a guide for how to implement this in the classroom and some basic equipment, Balfangs, radio oddity, whatever, including satellite stuff.
Yeah, so
satellite knowledge.
So they teach them how to do that, work satellite contacts, build antennas. I mean, the whole 9 yards. They do a great job with it. It is a 1 week course though. And then they've got a couple different levels that the teachers can come back, and that grant money would cover bringing the teacher out. The only thing it didn't cover was like a substitute, but they also did most of sessions during the summer, so that finding a substitute wasn't that big of a deal. But they would cover their travel and cover their boarding for the week and food and everything.
I tell you what, you have a kid witness you make a contact on the International Space Station, and an astronaut comes up, you're going to have them hooked.
Yep.
Oh, absolutely. So,
Absolutely.
Tim, 5 minutes, well, 4.5 minutes now.
Okay. Well, real quick, that was, I think, a good discussion tonight. Lively. Maybe we'll have to pick it up on another week too to talk a little bit more about it. Brian, what you got going on this week?
Man, I've been in editing hell right now. I enjoy editing. Let's not make it a bad thing. I enjoy editing, but I've had a lot of hours of editing trying to learn a new to me editing software. So I got a big project coming up here. I just did a overlanding trip to Brown State Fishing Lake here in Kansas up by Hiawatha. It's out there in the middle of nowhere, and I set up shop, set up my homebrew 6-meter Moxon, and I did some YouTubing out there, made some films, did a tour of the truck, and yeah, so I should have plenty of editing to do this week to get that up and running. But yeah, that's what I'm set up to do today or this week.
Awesome. Frank, what do you got going on?
Real quick, I want to bring this comment up. Hollywood just made a great comment, and I want to end our discussion for that on this one. If I recall, Apple gave away all sorts of computers for classroom use. The kids became loyal consumers to the Apple line of products. As a result, if we could get a ham manufacturer to do the same, I know they watch at some level. Yaesu, Kenwood, ICOM. I'm looking at you guys. I'm looking at you. What? So Jeff or me? Who's next?
Well, yeah,
Frank.
your turn. So what's up, Jeff? Real quick, like 30 seconds.
Let's see. I was hanging out with Paul the Southern Ham, Kilo Juliet 5 Golf Kilo yesterday. He drove through Delaware, and we did an activation together. Lots of fun. He's a great guy.
Yeah.
I got a video working on from Hamvention from my return trip. Some technical issues I got to overcome with that happened at that location. It's kind of weird. Eventually figure it out. But planning to go out hopefully again soon. We're in a heat wave. A heat wave started today, and it's not fun being outside right now. Even in the shade, is not good. But yeah, keeping myself busy other than work too. It's keeping me busy. But yeah,
I'm going to make it short and sweet. I hit over 3K last week thanks to Kids Table. This Friday, we're doing a 3K Corky giveaway. Come on by and check it out. That's it, Tim.
I bet it's going to be quirky.
It's going to be very quirky.
Oh, it's going to be very quirky. Tim, what's going on for you?
I heard last night they were trying to get James to print up some Clubhouse banana hammocks.
Yeah, I heard that too.
Oh, not banana hammocks. No.
Those guys, I don't know about them, but not much going on. I did do field day from the lake, or not from the lake, from the Morgan Monroe State Forest by the waterfront, where I normally do the Sunday morning live stream. I did go out Saturday and ran 10 meters, and most of my contacts that day were on 10 meters because it was hard to compete. It was hard to compete with everybody. So I went over to 10 and stayed in the tech portion of the band, try to make as many contacts, although I probably didn't make very many techs, but who knows? I don't know. And then Sunday I went back and I live streamed from my normal Sunday morning live stream, which turned into 3 hours of live streaming.
I saw that portion.
We're having fun. And that's the whole point of this. For me on Sunday mornings to live stream is to show people, right? It's education through demonstration. So had a great time. Did a couple different antenna options each day to kind of change that around. And actually, I think Saturday I had to swap up antennas midstream too, because the first one I did the 9-to-1 random wire I was having some issues with, so I went ahead and ran another infed half wave. So did that. Also recorded a video on how I live stream from the truck. So that posted last night on Tuesday night with I think Jeff had a video, Carlos had a video, Mike threw a video in
His live stream.
Oh, it was his live stream before Carlos. So so those are in there. We also got Thursday night thing, and if I'm not mistaken, if I read, that's the 2-year anniversary of the Thursday night premiere videos. Yeah. So make sure you guys check those out. Look for social media, various social medias. They'll be posting that. Check out those videos. And then Thursday night is Ham Shack TV or Coffee and Ham Radios at 8 p.m. Eastern. And then we've got the rest of the cast characters the rest of the week long. So I can't think of anything else. Anybody else got any last parting words before we get out of here?
Subscribe,
enjoyed your setup.
subscribe.
And don't forget to like and subscribe to everybody.
Yep. Do all the YouTube thing, guys. All right. 73.
Later.
73.
All right.